Back in the world of DEADPOLY, we're on a new save. Unfortunately, we lost the old save, so we don't have the mini mart no more. The mini mart has been kaput. I don't know if the save got corrupted, if it disappeared, or what happened, or if I just accidentally deleted it like a schmuck. That could possibly be. That's probably what happened. So we have to start over and make a new base. But since that happened, as you can see, there's a car there. We've got cars back. We're in, I think, 0.3.2 right now. So we got a bunch of stuff has been added back into it. Namely, there's a bunch of cars in now. A whole bunch of different cars. The military base is back, kinda. There's a lot of stuff added to that. You got a bunch of military zombies over there, Humvees, a few bits and bobs. Lots of gun stuff, mostly. The cars now need fuel and cancel. Whoops. They need fuel, and you now have to use the car batteries that you find around, and you have to use the spark plugs that you find around. You could also use a wrench to repair them and stuff. And fuel you can find around in the land, you can find on zombies, you can find in drops. You could also make it. So now we can take the corn that we've grown or grow and turn that into ethanol. How do you do that, you might ask? Well, guess what? We got some crafting stations back now too. So check it out. We got our anvil, we got our workbench, we got our mortar and pestle, our bullet press, we've got our scavenger, as you already know, and we also have these things, distillers. As you can see, fill fuel can. These are all fuel cans. These are the military ones, which are a little bit bigger. And so the way the crafting stations work now is you no longer have an individual inventory for each one. So now you see how if I go up to this refrigerator and I go to pickup, it gives me this menu. Well, now if you click on all of these things, it gives you that same menu. See that? Why is that? Because these no longer have their own inventory and their own user interface. So what you do now is to make the first thing you got to do is make the workbench, and you simply press your tab button to get your inventory up, and you go to that craft button over here that gave you like the barricades and the smaller items. All of these items. Ooh, log chair and log table. I didn't see that. Nice. So what happens is you make your workbench, and then once you make the workbench, this pops up. Anvil and mortar and pestle, because these are things you can now additionally make under the workbench. So then you make your anvil, and you make your mortar and pestle, and you put it within the vicinity of the workbench, because you always have to stand near the workbench now. See, if I go like way over here, and I hit that tab, whoops, if I hit that tab, look, this is all I got. The old school, right? But if I run back over here, see that? You get all of that stuff extra up here. And so you put it near there, and then when you go back into your tab, like I just did, under anvil, you will now have metal cabinet. You will also have your bullet press and your distiller and your refined metal, which is what you use to make some bullets, right? Under mortar and pestle, you have cornmeal. And so you put a corn in there and you get some cornmeal back. I think you get like 25 cornmeal. And then, so you grow some corn, you take that cornmeal and some water, and you bring it into this thing, and you just wait a really long time, and that'll make some fuel. So then you use some of your empty fuel cans here, and you transfer it over, and you put it in your car. Well, like I said, you could find it out in the world and stuff like that. You cannot make gunpowder as of yet, so in order to get in order to get any of these bullets here, you have to take bullets that you don't want. Like say, I use these mostly, so I have a gun that uses these, the Vector. So I don't use these 7.62s as of right now. So any 7.62s I throw into this jammy, and that gives you the gunpowder and some refined metal back. So then now you can use that to craft the bullets that you do want, so that you have a stockpile of bullets, right? And that's how the crafting works. So I made this whole like video before to talk about this, how I came over here and I took over this space to turn it into, because, you know, since cars were back, I wanted to use, you know, this kind of garage setup and build a whole theme around that. You know, like kind of like a wasteland repair shop or something, apocalyptic repair shop. All right, so you know me, I do all the prop setting up and, you know, things like that, because, you know, I grew up with things like model airplanes and dioramas and action play sets and shit from like G.I. Joe and Star Wars and all that kind of stuff. Hold on, coffee. And like I made this whole video, and because NVIDIA software is such a little bitch, because the driver needed an update, it decided, you know, it always decides, oh, the driver needs an update, so I'm just not going to take no more screenshots and I'm not going to take no more videos. So, and it doesn't give you any warning that it's going to do that. It just like you press record and it starts recording and it immediately stops. So if you're not paying attention, you'll notice that you won't notice that it stopped. So I went and I did this whole freaking recording and did all this kind of stuff and talked about all this kind of things, and I even showed how to make get a light up on the upper level of the Zen lantern here, so you get these cool like light effects. Let me see. I did a whole thing on that. I set this up over here. I was talking about all my props. I was showing off all this props, how I set this up with the cornmeal and the gunpowder to make it look like a bowl of stuff. Batteries looking like some kind of green vegetable type thing, and showcasing other stuff. And here, we'll just look at it again. Here's like, so like if you saw the other video, you saw like I had like the little mini mart set up, so you had like the food flamingos and stuff like that. So because they're sad because their store got wrecked or disappeared or whatever, they joined me over here, and they've been barbecuing up some stuff in the meantime while we get their shop set up. A little, it's not a mini mart no more. It's not going to be a mini mart, so they're just going to be like a food stand, concession stand. So they're going to be selling some stuff out of here. So I'm saying it's going to be like a little eating area over here. You know, there's your logs and stuff. And I showed how I used a stake to do all this kind of prop setting up, and how to change the angles of the way things sit. You know, and just to get these kind of effects. I was showing how I use different items to place down temporarily so that I can place other items on them to get the right angles that I want, such as these chopsticks, like this. See, like these what is this, hand guards and charging handles to look like corn cobs with the holders. You know, like so somebody ate some corn. These are clothing racks. The same way that the shark plushies and the stakes are just stuck on the outside of them. The same way that we do with the IV stands to display stuff is the same way how these work. So it's just supposed to look like a rack of clothes, and you just like basically you just take like, you know, like whatever it is, like say like this book bag. So you just put it there and just, you know, like click it on there, you know, like you would with any other place like that. And it's just meant to display, so it looks like it's in a store or something like that. So I decided to use that as like the cooking rack, and I put two campfires down here and a bunch of stone around it, just to make that look just so it doesn't look like this. It's the campfires are sitting on the wooden bottom of the clothing rack. These are metal barricades and some metal shelves. So I'm trying to make steps, figure out how to make steps for the interior, because we don't have interior walls and stuff like that unless you build a very obtrusive foundation. So like if I wanted to build something in here, like I'd have to put stairs only go on these things. See what I'm saying? I could only lower them so much. See what I'm saying? If I lower them that much, they turn red. So they can only be this low, and that's a pretty big chunk of the floor that you have to accommodate for now. So like every room you go into, it's going to be like that high off. You know, that's kind of corny. And then for like every floor that you have to put a foundation on the bottom. So I'm trying to find a way around that. So I've been using the metal barricades. See these metal barricades? So these are now the stairs. I'm going to put these up there. I'm going to lip that along the lip there so that it hangs off the lip. I'm going to lip that. I'm going to lip it. Right? And then the thing is that the barricades... Do I have wood? Yeah. The barricades... Let's see, barricade. So like these things, they're hard to place on stuff because you can see like a lot of stuff they won't... See, they go on the outside of that, but they won't go on... Oh, they will go on that. Okay. So it's hard to find something that you can use. And this is another thing. See how they want to only go on this flat like that. They won't go on edge to edge, which is what I generally would like. So in order to do that, we would have to do some other kind of finagling like this. You have to find the right thing. See, like this cheap wooden barricade, a small flat item like that. All right, you take that, and you would do something like this, right? Put that there, boom, right? So we step over a little bit, and what you would do is you place it so that it's only 1/4 of this wooden panel is in the space. This way you can have room for other wooden panels to fill in like the other gaps, like. See what I'm saying? So this will get this floor over here, these 2 floors over here, so then you put another panel that way, and that'll get these floors over there, right, and so on and so forth. So with this, then once you do that, let's see if I can get up there from here. It's at a weird angle. It's literally a... There we go. Okay, so now we're up here, so then what you would do is this. Go get another panel, right? Spin she around, and boom, bada boom. Now, because the snapping is not really... Wait, is it? Kind of, sort of. We might have to... wait, can it snap to this? It does snap to that. Hold on. So maybe we can utilize the snapping, because he just fixed some of the snapping going on. Oh, I see. So what if I unsnap? No, that's not it. It's this one. See, but if I do... For some reason, the grid is different than the way if you free place it. So that's going to be a little... Where would this place... So it won't go green if I do it like that. But if I try to keep my cursor there... Bring it out. Oh. Come on, you can do it. Right there. Now what happens if we grab another one and then put the snapping back on? The grid back on, I should say. Now, will that let me connect to it? No. See, it doesn't quite work the way you want it to. Is that on there with a gap? No, there's no gap, but it was acting like there was a gap. So anyway, so we probably wouldn't be able to use the snapping at that point. So let's try that again. Okay, so the snapping won't work for what we needed to. So what we're going to do is we're going to ungrid that. Now for some reason that looks like there is like a little gap there. You see that? Now here's the thing. Here's the tricky bit. You would have to place all of these down here first before you start extending the floor out, because once you put the piece of wood on there, you can't. See what I'm saying? It'll go green, but because this floor is there, this other barricade is there, it won't. And you definitely can't do it from this way either. Yeah, so you'd have to do your whole floor across, however much you're gonna do. And then you probably have to do a bunch of this stuff. You might be able to place one, and then if you can center it in the right spot where it snaps, and then put your barricade on, and then have everything snap properly, or kind of properly. See, this could be a problem here. Might have to just join them straight to back instead of trying to get them overlapping. But now here's the other thing. Okay, what else we got? Thing is, I'm trying to make sure that props and shit will go on there. Where'd that sink go? Why always buried down in this pack? Ah, okay, so we can place furniture and shit up on here, which is good. That's perfect. And then, like, if we wanted to, say, for instance, put a wall of these, because we can't put regular walls, we could either do something like these, maybe. See that? Those will fit up on here. Or you could do something like make a shelf, and then use the shelf as your like a starting mount kind of sort of type thing. So you put your shelf like that. You know, and then this thing would just kind of as an example, we'll just put it up there like that. See what I'm saying? And you could put like a little partition up there, you know, because what I want to do is make like a loft area, and then have more storage space up there. So that's going to be a thing to do. So this, I'm hoping that I'll be able to clear the doorway at this spot right here, and then be able to have that as the way up. So that's going to be one thing that I'm going to be working on. Another thing that I'm going to be working on is, we're still working on the corn. I'm trying to get as much corn grown in one shot. So we got some plots there. Look at this. This is my starting plots over here. So we have corn here, a nice big stack of corn here. And I painstakingly kept pulling the potatoes out just so I could get, I want to do one full giant corn harvest. We got corn up here growing, along with some water traps. Am I still recording? I swear to God. So we got some corn up here. This was janky because this roof is crookedy. So I'm thinking about pulling all this stuff off and reclaiming these metal plates. Alright, because we also have that up there. And then, so originally this was, I had just this. I walled this all off. You can see the walls back there, behind these containers, the walls back there, and that was going to be it. Then I said, you know what, because I can't just drive straight in here because we don't have vehicle gates yet. So I have these guys kind of guarding. My fighting flamingos are guarding the front way. Nobody really comes down the street right now. But I didn't want to have this open for them to just wander in like when they want. So what I do is I drive in the back way. So come outside here. So once in a while you get a dude come up over here. Like this one. Anything good? Oh, we got one of these things. We already have one of those. Do we need another one to take up space? Take that water, definitely. Take this wood, definitely. We don't need none of that other stuff, though. So yeah, so I had put the walls up and I blocked this off just so I could have a way to come in here safely. But originally it wasn't like that. This was all open up and I used to just shoot right in here, swing around, open this door, drive in, close the door, then come over to this other end and open this door, and voila, now we're inside the facility. See what I'm saying? And that's how I get in and out with the truck. And keep it secure so that they don't wander in. To do it on this side, we can't. I just blocked it. These fucking cars are moving around. Damn it. So like this side, I would have to keep breaking this, these cars over here in order to get in. But it's no big deal because I just use the other side for now. And right now, those metal cars that you get your metal resources from and shit, and the trees and the rocks do not respawn. Ah, delicious. They don't respawn because Cameron turned it off, only because if we were to make a base out in the woods, or like say chop down these trees right here and build a base right there, the trees will respawn in the base even though they're not supposed to. Once a player places stuff down, like, you know, it should block the spawn of a certain radius, and that doesn't seem to be working. And for people like me, it's not a big deal because the only thing that would happen is, like, you know, these couple of stray cars would just spawn back in, and they're really not like in the way. But for people that have a big giant base where they cleared a large chunk of trees and suddenly have all them trees back blocking up everything in their base, and then I have to spend an hour chopping every tree down again, you know, it becomes problematic. So in order to get wood and resources, we either have to, you know, the cars are only going to be mostly around here right now, but what we could do is, you know, go like way out here for wood or rocks or something like that, or just create a new Garden City map save world or a Delta City map save world and just go there and loot the shit out of it and bring it back here. That's another option. What else? Yeah, so I ended up taking over this back here. And making this a little bit more secure, so I can keep stuff back here now. And this back here was just an empty alley, but then I took this over too and blocked this all off. And this is where my new crops are going to be. So all the crops are back here, and the water traps, I'm going to put another row of water traps here, and I'm going to eliminate the ones up on the roof there. And there's also a door back in this way, back on this side. So these are potatoes. I'm trying to get them out of here and make a corn grow, because it's still random. It's still random what you get when you put a crop down. And once you harvest it and a new one grows, it'll still be random. So, and then I said, you know what, we need sleeping quarters, and I didn't want to use the loft area over there that I'm building for sleeping quarters. So I was going to take over this building, which is pretty high. I don't like to have to climb up the high buildings though anymore. Not only that, but these are part of the hospital that's on the other side there. You know, the hospital complex there. Oh, there's our mini mart. Our mini mart, that's no more. But yeah, I don't want to mess with the hospital stuff, so I'll leave that. And then we're going to take over this building right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this right here into the way in. This is going to be the main entrance. And then we're going to close these off using these things. See these bars here? We might not have to close off these two over here. But we're definitely going to close off the ones on the outside there. See, like these over here? Put this like right here. Think those zombies saw me? Yep, they saw me. Bitch. Wrench. I wrenched my neck. But yeah, so we'll do that. And then what we'll do is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 apartments in here. We'll take over one apartment for ourselves, and we will maybe do different decorating things in the other ones there. So that'll be another project over here, just to do. So here's another thing to note. So remember, if you have these kind of containers that have the search option, as long as you never pick them up, if they're the ones that are originally on the ground, they will always spawn items in. Even if you build stuff, even if they're in the middle of your base, they will still spawn stuff inside. So if you like want a dumpster, but you also have a dumpster near your place, go somewhere else and get the dumpster, but leave the dumpster that's near your place. This way you always have a spot to come back and search. This way you always have searchable containers around. So all the containers and all the desks and cabinets and shit that are around, even decorative items like the shelves and shit, I won't touch. I won't touch. Why? Because it's taken a long time for him to be able to get to the point where he can start adding interiors, and I like the way they look when it looks like shit's been abandoned and not where shit looks like it's ready for rental. You know what I mean? You go into an empty place that's completely empty, it looks like you're looking at an apartment you're about to rent, versus something that has furniture and stuff in it that looks like somebody got run out or ran away or disappeared. You know what I mean? Much more immersive like that. So I'd rather leave all that stuff around. So if I want any of those decorative items, I'll try to remember where they were and then go to like a dummy map, a dummy Garden City map, and then go to that same location and then loot the item. So if I want, like, if I go into like that apartment up there and it's all set up to look like an apartment, I just remember where that is and then go to another map, loot all that stuff that I want from there, and then come back to this map. This way on this map, all that stuff is still there and still has that lived in look. Does that make sense? And oh shit, there was something else I wanted to do here too, damn it, and I forgot what it was. But yeah, so I don't take like a lot of those items out and a lot of the searchable containers, so I just leave them around. And what I do is I have like routes that I run around. Like I'll do like this block, I'll go around and I go into every store because I know which store has extra boxes and containers and shit like that. And I'll just continually loot them. And like I said, even if it's inside your base, if you never moved it from where it originally spawned when the world was made, they will still be searchable. The same thing goes for these things. Now these things here usually have loot that spawn on the floor, but the minute you start building near them or in them, it stops. Like in here, these stopped. So these two big storage sheds over here, they don't spawn no more items loose on the floor anymore. These things, which spawn items loose on the ground because you can walk right over them, right? Also act like searchable containers somehow, because as long as, like, even this fence goes right up and touches the container, so you would think that that would have its radius would stop spawns, but it doesn't. So these 4 containers here, these shipping containers, they just constantly like generate loot for me to catch. You know. Now the thing is I don't know if they act like other containers where I can drop something on the floor and it'll despawn like it would in, like, say, the dumpster. So I don't want to throw anything on the floor and like potentially mess it up. So I'm not even going to build anything inside these 2 little sections here. Drink refreshing mountain spring water. But anyway, so that's that. We also have airdrops are back in, and airdrops you can now get the crate. I mean, you don't get the crate that drops on the ground right there. There's an equivalent crate in the crate as a loot. I guess that's to symbolize that you took the crate and the loot, the crate and the pallet. But the good thing about that is, fucking hell, look at that storage on that fucker. Another thing is we got these raid bags now, these ready raid bags, right? So when you wear one of these with your regular inventory pockets up here, you literally have to scroll to get to the bottom of this. So we'll look in this Humvee, this mini Humvee. Look at the size of this thing. Mini Humvee. So let's look in here. So these are the raid ready packs. Gideon is somebody that's on the Discord a lot, helps out a lot of people. He likes the black and red colors, like a Deadpool kind of theme. So one of the color patterns, Cameron decided to hook him up, give him name one after him with his color pattern. It's pretty cool. So here's the Rush backpack, which was the biggest backpack, right? Which was the biggest backpack you can get. So look at this thing. The whole Rush backpack fits in just the main pocket of the Raid Ready pack. Now here's the thing, even though this is much smaller than this, these are considered the same tier. And there's no more super nesting of bags anymore. So if you notice, I don't have any of these in here. Why is that? Because you can't do this either. Because they're the same tier. So you cannot put the same tier backpack in the same tier backpack. So with the Rush backpack, the Raid Ready backpack, you can only wear it on your back. That's the only place you could use it. So you really can only use one Raid pack on yourself, right? And uh-oh. Okay. That was weird. Fatal error. Why did that do that? I was just looking at some backpacks. Let's see if that does that again. That was crazy. Hey, Hulk Hogan. Hey, brother. Ready to kill some zombies, brother? My Hulkamaniacs. Caldera. There's a reason why I call it Caldera. Okay, let's see where it puts me. How far back was that? When did it autosave? What? I'm in the container. Ooh, frame rate, kick in. Oh, Snow Extreme. I don't need Snow Extreme. I need Space. Aha. I need Space Sci-Fi something. That's weird that I spawned in there and it didn't put any loot in there. I hope that's not broken now. So notice how there's all fresh new loot. We'll take that hockey stick. Nah. So let's go back over here and do that again and see if we trigger a fatal crash, because that'll be interesting. We're in this inventory. Whoops. We're in this inventory. We had both this open and this open, right? And we were comparing them. We were comparing the sizes, and we were talking about how you could only wear a Raid Ready pack on your back. You can't use it anywhere else. And I believe you also cannot put it in your pockets. So the only place you can have a raid pack is on your back. And because you can't put these in here, your best bet is to get yourself two of the Rush backpacks, which is the next biggest one, and keep those in your pockets. This way you can maximize your storage. Anything else can go into these two packs. So all your hunting backpacks, I guess that's the only ones, and your cute or your school packs. The school packs are new as well. They're just like the cute packs. They hold the exact same amount, except they're just, they look more like a book bag and not a cute pack. Not a kawaii pack. Kawaii? Right? So I think that's probably it in a nutshell. I guess, well, we're going to set this all up to look like a more of a seating area. We might have to set up some more dishes somewhere else, and then I'll show you guys how I did that. I can show you really quick how I do the lighting. Alright, so if you want, let's do this real quick. So you also added another clock thing over here. Set the time to sunrise. Before it was just noon or just midnight. So now you got a sunrise one. So you could do that. Give it that nice sunrise look. I could do like a midnight jammy. So this is what the orange one looks like in the corner. You can see like the light is still kind of harsh. So you kind of don't have, like, the light will fade this way. You see how it fades away? This way, but you don't have no fade at the edges, so there's no like ambient light that illuminates this, which you normally would get IRL, you know. And then these things also don't cast. And I know it's something has to do with the light source versus the actual light, because believe it or not, the like say this neon is separate than the actual glare of the light, which is also separate, I believe, from this halo of softer light. See this like halo of softer light? See how you have like the white blue, then you have like this kind of next blue, and then the next blue? I think these are three different entities, so to speak. So this is how we do this. Okay, so first we're going to take the Zen lantern away, and we're going to show you that. Okay, and we're going to show you why we're doing what we're doing. Okay, so basically this is your setup. You got your mortar and pestle. You got two signs that say mask required, and we're using mask required because those are the smallest in perimeter. The perimeter of the sign is just exactly the same size as the light almost, which just fits inside the Zen lantern without any bits poking out of the edges here. Like, see where these leaves are? So in this case here, so here's the trick, right? So let's see if we could do this. So let's take a light, right? So see how you can place the light here, you can place it here, you can place it on the wall, you can place it there. Now you see how it does this janky shit? You would think that it would go like this over here, but no. So the placement is still kind of weird and buggy with a lot of this stuff. So it can go on boxes and stuff like that, but it can't go on like a lot of props. See that? It'll go on the benches, it'll go on this thing, but again, it won't go on the way you think it would. It'll go on this thing, but again, not the way you think it would. See what I'm saying? So a lot of things, see, it'll go on this. Like this dot, like doesn't, when you have the light on, like the dot doesn't, see? So that's one of the tricks, is trying to figure out how to do what you need to do. See what I'm saying? Like you can't mount it on anything. So when you trying to place this certain spots, you'll see that it becomes difficult. So I can mount it on any one of these walls I want. I can mount it on this shelf. See what I'm saying? But I can't stick it on like the tiki cups or whatever. You know, and it's weird because like some of these items, like you see how it just passes right through, right? But yet if I pick that cup up, I can, and if I place this down here and then pick this cup up and place this cup, the cup will place on top of the light, but the light won't place on top of the cup. It'll just fade through, and it goes like that for a lot of stuff. So when you want to do something like cool and decorative, it doesn't like really give you too many options. So our choices are to finagle like a lot of this shit. And so to finagle this, I found that one of the few things that it can go on is like, say, you know, like the boxes, right? It's like, see this box? Let's take this box up and I'll show you what I'm doing. So the thing with the box is that the box is just small enough, it's buried here, right? Yep. That you can scoot it under there and still have it stay green. See what I'm saying? So you could kind of, you see it's still kind of bulky. It's still kind of bulky for what you want it, you know? But the most important thing is that you could see the edge of the box, the top of the box is almost in line with the height of the Zen lantern. So if we make a light, we can see that the light will now, because it clips through the Zen lantern, it does it with no problem. It's still allowed to pass through, but because it's allowed to place on the box, it'll still turn green. So you can put that there, and now you have a light inside the Zen lantern where there wouldn't be one. Normally you'd have to put it on the floor, and you wouldn't get the same effect if you wanted it to be shining out of the top. The only problem with that is if I remove the box, the lantern will disappear. Not the lantern, the light. See what I'm saying? So you'd have to leave the box there. And because this box is so bulky, it kind of looks unsightly. So you'd want to, you know, do the thing where you could, you know, put some plants around it, you know, to try to help hide it up a little bit. You know, you can finagle it somehow. Alright? And then that's how you could have your lantern in there, which is what I did over here. Over here it's a box. See, like, there's the box down there? Right? And so I kind of hit it up with a lot of this plants and shit like that, so you really can't see. But you still get the effect, which is cool. So I was like, what can I use that would make it less obtrusive and cleaner? Right, so what I did was I got a light out ready to place, and I just ran around like, you know, like, what the hell can this thing go on? You know, goes on the car. What kind of props does it go on? Doesn't go on none of these props, so I can't use none of these props as something to mount the light. You see what I'm saying? Like, none of this stuff is good. Like, see? And the thing is, like, other items will clip to those items. Like, here, I'll give you for instance. See, like, I can't even touch this, anything on this stick, the sharks, nothing. But all of the stuff that's there sticks to itself. Like the golf club sticks to the wrench, the fork sticks to the golf club, the shark sticks to the fork. You know what I mean? It won't even stick to the wooden logs. It goes on chairs, but chairs are not going to help us in the situation we're looking for. Alright, goes up here, but this still won't help us, right? And then I'm like over here, and I'm like, okay, it sticks to this stuff. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Ooh, it goes to the edge of that. And I'm like, wait a minute. It goes on top of that. It can go here as well. And consequently, this level here is exactly the level of the Zen lantern. So if we try to put that like right there. So you see how it's like the gray is almost perfect with the level where the light wants to be. However, this thing is crazy bulky and sticks out almost as much as the box does. So then the other thing was the mortar and pestle. Right, so when I'm doing the mortar and pestle, I was like, okay, so it goes on the edge here, goes here, goes here. Ooh, I can put it on the very tip, and the very tip is, I think, just about the same height as the cardboard boxes. Right? Where's the cardboard box? So if we get on here, it's just a little bit lower than a cardboard box, right? And if you remember, our cardboard box, I didn't want to drop it, dink, is just the height of this bottom piece of cement. Right, so you could see that's where the light would sit, and just a part of it would be sticking out, just enough to get you some glow. See what I'm saying? You can see how just that little bit sticks out there, right? So what else can we do about that to get this mortar and pestle just a little bit higher? We could do two things, right? Signs. Right, so signs can go on this, right? So you could either put this down here and have the mortar and pestle sit on top of it for that little extra height, but then you'd see this bright red sign. The other thing you could do is, like I did before, is put this here. You start off with your mortar and pestle. You put it where you want. You want to put it here. You put the mortar and pestle with the back end to the wall and the tip of the handle to where you want the center of the lantern is going to be. Right, because that's where your light's going to sit. So you position this so that you can kind of hide this and have this this tip be where your lantern center is going to be. So you want to make sure wherever you're going to put this lantern, you have to have, here, I'll give you an idea. Okay, because you see, so if the lantern, if the handle of the mortar and pestle was in the center of the lantern, you're going to have it stick out past this perimeter by this much. You see that? So that's what you have to take into account. So wherever you put this lantern, you have to make sure that the back side of it's going to have accommodate some bowl sticking out, so that this tip of the handle can be right in the middle of that thing there. All right, so let's pick that up and put that back on the shelf because we no longer need it for our example. Excuse me, sir. Why is it always want to throw it like down in this backpack over here? I don't get it. Yeah, you can see my guys are over here trying to get this car up and running so they can hook it up like that one. He said that we might have tires and oil and stuff as well to maintain in the future. And it's also going to probably maybe have like performance parts that we can add, possibly. You know, we got that cardboard wings back in as well, so set that up to look like they're trying to put a spoiler on there. Some gun parts over here to look like he's welding. All right. Okay, so anyway, let's go back to this. So now we have our mortar and pestle where we want it to be. All right. So then we're gonna take the mask required sign, because that's, like I said before, it's the perfect circumference or perimeter. Now 2 signs. All right. See where that 1 sign is? It's like right there. So we'll take a 2nd sign. I don't have a 3rd sign, unfortunately. So 2 signs or 3 signs. 4 signs I would say is too much. But 2 signs is what we have. So 2 signs gets us right to this, almost this level here. Which means when we place our light's going to be slightly higher than it is in that one over there. You can see how much of it's going to stick up, kind of, right? So if we had 1 more of these, it'd probably put us right at that level. So I need to try to acquire 1 more of those. So let's make a light. Let's do the light like we've been doing. And the light, you're gonna try to make it so that the octagon sides are pretty centered with the sign sides. See what I'm saying? It's a little jankety jank, but whatever. A little jankety jank. Get our Zen lantern, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to this front side here, and we're gonna aim our dot under the sign, so it's under the handle, right about here. Right? So come over here. We're gonna aim right for this like edge right here, this crease. See, but we're gonna angle ourselves so that we can see the inside. See, and because the dot, wherever the dot goes is where the lantern wants to go. So as long as you put it underneath, you should be alright. And you kind of center so that no black is showing. Set it down. Do a little wander. We got a little black on this side. But that's cool. Right? But now here's the thing. This is stone. Your lantern set over your light. And now this is what the setup's going to look like, kind of, sort of, depending on how you placed it. So remember, this backside is going to be hidden away. But in any case, you can see, because the bowl kind of looks like a flower pot anyway, you can kind of just take a flower pot and just stick it right in there. You know what I mean? Just to hide that up. See what I'm saying? And sometimes when you look at the plant, you can kind of spin it around and see like where there's like a spot that looks like it's flatter on one side than the other. Try not to make the leaves clip through. So now that just looks like there's a flower pot behind it with some plants in there, right? So then you could probably take, should we try this big one? I don't know if the big one. The big one's too big. Just take a couple of these small ones and just do a little, like, just to decorate it up a little bit. Just to help hide it just a pinchy more, you know. So on a lot of these things where you can clip them in like that, like you see how like the flowers come out, like, you know, you can make some cool things. Is that, do I have any more little flowers? No. What did I do with all those little flowers I had? What did I do with all them? Music is from White Bat Audio. I'll leave a link in the description. Awesome synthwave, copyright free. So if you ever want to use some good synthwave music for your videos, definitely the place to go. Awesome music. White Bat Audio, Casey. What's his name? Karl Casey. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I had some more little flowers. I must have placed them around or something. But anyway, let's grab that one back there. There's one little one back there. Just add that to the side over here a little bit more. Always just put that like right there. See how this one has like a flat side? So that flat side you just put like right there. Boom. There you go. Whoops. So there's your lantern with your light inside. It's got your decorations around it to try to help hide your little finagling. Right, we can open it up from there just by peeking inside. Put our battery back in. Activate. Boom. Right, let's. There we go. How's that look? See, right? Isn't that pretty cool? Isn't that pretty cool? It was killing me for the longest time trying to figure out how to do this. I just don't like these kind of really big glaring patterns that come up. This looks like the umbrella from Resident Evil, the Umbrella Corporation. Yeah, just the way the light falls is kind of glaring. You know, like if we come over here. See what I'm saying? It's like a very glaring light. Very harsh. Look, you can't even see where the other light, where anything is. There's somebody walking behind me. Yeah, this is the office, the dispatch office, and the mechanic shop office. It's also a courier office, so we have plenty of important cases to put your couriering goods in, should you need them. These are some new things that were added: office monitors and office computers. These other office towers here, in addition to the gaming setup computers that have been in the game. Printers, the money cases were added back. These cases were added back. Lots and lots of stuff. There's Mandalorian armor and a helmet. I just haven't found it yet, so I'm not sure if it's actually in yet or if it's still being worked on. The same thing for Stormtrooper armor. A lot more props are been added back. Trying to remember what else of significance that was added back. Cars, bullet making, the military shit. Yeah, so right now he says he's going to focus on taking care of a lot of like back end stuff for the interiors and starting to fill that out. I think he said he's got some questing things getting, in the works. Some story, some actual storyline stuff. So we're not just out here just on this endless circle of looting and building. So this is what I mean about it, is like if I could tone down this light just a little bit, like if the light had the option to like lower it or increase the frequency, it'd be cool. So because Van Panda looks cool, but at night it just looks like a little creepy. Looks a little creeped out. And I think that's about it, right? So we got our other cardboard wings. We got this Featherhawk headdress. We got this helmet. Metalhead. The vehicles don't have any collision really too much right now. If you're driving really fast, you can run down zombies. But there was something about the physics and the collision, and running over zombies would either send the truck flying into space or send the zombies flying into space. Something. So he's still working on stuff like that. Like he wants to be able to put. Well, he was working on trying to be able to put stuff actually on the truck. So hopefully that'll change the collision so that it's an actual solid object that you can stand on or whatever. But you know, I put barricades and shit on there, and you know, build like a proper war wagon, or you know, or just to, you know, put boxes in the back there so it just looks like it's doing its job, you know. Put a big ass queen size bed mounted right to the front of it, run down zombies, and all the time yelling, "Sleepy time, bitches! Time for some night night! Don't let the bed bugs bite!" And just like run them down completely. Alright, I think that's about it for now. I mean, we could go have a look real quick at some of the other stuff. We got some kicks, which are basically a Converse. These masks got back in. This is in. The toy trucks and bulldozers. There's no new Among Us's or no new figurines or anything like that as far as I could see. We got some gas masks and stuff to go with the hazmat suits that we now got. We got night top and bottoms and proper shoes for them as well. Not so much gloves. The hazmat gloves I've only found. You hear that? That's the airdrop. See, there it is over there. Look at it. Did he drop anything? It's usually far from here. Like, he never drops it like over. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. What the heck was I talking about? Oh, we were looking at some stuff. So yeah, he added some extra plushies. So you got like the teddy bears are back. Not the broken one. I haven't seen the squirrel yet, so I don't know if the squirrel's back in. Paper bag masks. Quite a few of those. Nothing new here, nothing new really here. You got these bags like I said before. Shaman masks are in. You have these Mad Max type collars. It's supposed to look like when he was like mounted, you know, like Fury Road when he was like stuck on the front of the car with the cage on his face. So I guess it's supposed to look like one of those. You got this blindfold, a couple other plushies, Evil Bunny, Mutant Bunny. So I'm wondering if there's more bunnies around. And the way it looks like, the way his eye's missing, it looks like it plugs in. So it's like maybe they were supposed to light up, like if that was a real doll. I don't know. And what else over here? The Evil Clown plushie. And do I have any other stuff on there? No. Alright, I think we're going to call this episode here. Hopefully that was not such a long episode. Hopefully it recorded the way it should. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I wanted to mention beforehand. So the game is moving quite along now. Game is moving quite along. He's getting a lot of stuff put in. Can't wait to see what kind of stories and quest lines and stuff goes on there, and NPC factions and shit that he was talking about. So that'll be cool. But I'm gonna work on a few things, and maybe we'll come back later and maybe we'll start getting this building over here ready for setup, or maybe we'll start working on some of this back here. Let me go look at my crops real quick and see if I can rip out these freaking potatoes. See, the thing is, you got to keep ripping them out and then hoping a corn takes root. There's only a couple spaces left for them to grow, so hopefully it won't be long now, right? All right. Oh, and another thing we were doing, just to help give you guys some ideas, the for sale signs. If you could just put stuff on top of them, you could make your own signs up, like Flamingo Mountain, or you know, like the spring water sign over there, or whatever. Or like I did over here, like you got product, whatever the product is. Right? Okay, this time I mean it. This time I mean it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have fun. Hope you guys get some ideas. Look at these fucking mugs crawling back from the fucking bar. It's fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon, for Christ's sakes. Get a hold of yourself. Alright, good night, folks.